It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. All that and more coming up next.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good start. One play, 10 yards.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Burrow will throw. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
Now Burrow. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, I haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't like a target that size. I mean, that's a big, tall receiver, and somehow he missed him anyway.
Yeah, tempting to just put it out there for him to go get it, but dangerous throw and not on target.
Yeah, sometimes even a receiver with that type of catch radius can't haul them in if they're not accurate.
In motion goes the tight end. Here's Burrow. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 10. To the air again, Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Brown will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
To the air with McCarthy. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now McCarthy. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
So on fourth down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Now it's Burrow. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. An inside give, Brown to about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about where they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 right at the 40. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They will toss to Brown. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This will be caught by Brown. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And that is no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Trying to build on that opening drive touchdown, but the drive stalls out. And then you get the missed field goal here, so they wind up with nothing to show from drive number 2.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Open man is Jalen Naylor. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On play action, now McCarthy. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Throwing again, McCarthy. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Here's McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21. That's a staple of this offense, drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down and 4. Throwing is McCarthy. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Jones will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try again with Jones. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's third and goal. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room. Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. But the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Burrow looking to pass. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw McCarthy. That is caught. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll try the right side with Jones. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Pass complete to Addison. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Addison will go in motion left. On play action, McCarthy. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
McCarthy off the play fake. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
And this is the time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he edges forward but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 8. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now it's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This is Brown going up the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Burrow will throw. He will find his man Chase complete.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder.
McPherson's kick is good.
And we are all tied here in the final stages.
So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
2nd down, 8 yards to go. To the air with McCarthy. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Here now, third down. An inside give to Jones. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, you know, sitting up here in the booth,
take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heels a bit.
See if they do that. They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow. And his throw here is incomplete. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down. Now McCarthy. And this will be incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And he's got this to Jefferson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. First throw in overtime now for Burrow. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The defense did its part. 3 points now. All they need as they work on second down. Burrow going to get this out to Chase. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The LSU connection, Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts, maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps. They're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. As you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And the defense is going to let him think about it a little as they use their second timeout here. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Bengals are going to get out of here with a W. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home, so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.